Yo, what's going on, man? It's BlackRanger X. So basically, I was reading this story, and this shit's crazy, man. This is why I say that you honestly cannot be you can't be supporting people for too long, man, because people will they will forget just how much you've done for them, man. Because this girl, SKYLAR Diggins, man, for her to have this kind of unappreciativeness of the fact that her league hasn't even collapsed yet, because really it's on the way down. Everybody knows this. WNBA isn't making any money. Right, NBA players go out of their way to support that crap. The NBA has that thing on a lifeline right now. Okay, that thing is barely alive. This chick is over here talking the most shit out her mouth, out the side of her lip, wrapping her lips about Harrison Barnes. She tried to throw that man's name in there when talking about this gender wage gap, which is non-existential. Why? Because you make as much money as you produce. If their league isn't producing money, there's no money to be made to be given back to the employees. It's that simple. Right? If you work at a little mom and pop shop, pizza shop, then and they only make what, $50,000 a year, and overhead costs like 20,000. They're gonna pay you less. It's that simple. Versus if you work at a motherfucking global Papa John's or something like that, where the revenue is there, you might be able to negotiate a higher wage. You might be able to negotiate something like that. But it's just that simple. You cannot make money that isn't there. So this girl, SKYLAR Diggins, I'm about to break this shit down because she was really coming at Harrison Barnes. And this man, Harrison Barnes, has gone out of his way to actually support this whack-ass league. So here's what she said, right? She recently said, "I'm the highest paid player on the Dallas Wings, and my salary is in the low six figures. Harrison Barnes, the highest paid player on the Dallas Mavericks, made $24 million last season. He's definitely younger than me. Do you know his stats? Was he an all-star? I mean, it just doesn't matter. But last year, I was first team All-WNBA, which only goes to 5 players. I was also a WNBA All-Star for the 3rd time." I thought this shit was funny because, you know what? After I read that shit, I was like, first off, Harrison Barnes, you couldn't even wipe Harrison Barnes' shoes. Let's keep it a buck, all right? If you and Harrison Barnes play one-on-one right now, this shit would look like the end of Love and Basketball where the nigga had a broken leg and still whipped that girl's ass, all right? It wouldn't even be close. Harrison Barnes at high school could beat you. It's just keeping it a buck. I decided to compare their career accolades. And there's just something that Harrison Barnes is that she is not. And I mean, in terms of their accolades at an individual level from high school up to college, they had roughly about the same accolades. Plus, Harrison Barnes played on a team with Andre Iguodala, who was playing over top of him until Steve Kerr got there. And he also played on a team with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. So there's not much area to shine your light on yourself and really flourish. And that was during his growing years. Right? So these both of them were basically all Americans all throughout high school, first team, that kind of stuff in college, all first team in their conferences. Harrison Barnes was NBA all rookie first team in 2013. Then in 2015, 2 years later, NBA champion. NBA motherfucking champion. All that all-star bullshit she's talking about, and she's not even a champion yet. Last time I checked, that girl, what's that girl over there with Minnesota with the Lynx? I forgot her name. That chick has like 3, 4 MVPs or titles or some shit. She's racking it up. Can't remember that. I think it's Monica Moore. I think that's her name. Oh no, fuck, it's Maya Moore. It's Maya Moore. That girl Maya Moore out here got titles, motherfucking MVPs. You don't never hear her talking this nonsense. So not only is Harrison Barnes an accomplished NBA player, and he's getting his money in the economy that the NBA is in, where it's booming, and he was in demand, a player like him was in demand, and the Mavericks wanted to pay him. She was talking shit about this man. This man was supporting her. You know what he said? Last month, this man tweeted out, he said, "Don't be like me and forget to use the WNBA vote in your tweet for E. Cambridge and SkyDig4." I guess that's Liz Cambridge and SKYLAR Diggins. So basically, my man not only did that, he also did a blatant one. He said, "Tonight's the last chance to help at E. Cambridge and SkyDig4 on the Dallas Wings get in the WNBA All-Star game together." I'm like, this man, Harrison Barnes, really didn't have to shout your ass out. All right. This man played Olympic ball with the men's team. He won gold. Now you have some, stuff on yourself as well, but I'm sorry. The men's level of competition is just higher. Everybody knows this. He's at the highest level that the game could be played for his sport. And it's arguable whether you are, because really everyone knows that people overseas make more money if you're a female player. So then this chick goes on to say, we've had Cowboys and Mavericks show up at games and support us. I haven't seen Mark Cuban at a game, and I'm sure I wouldn't miss him. This man, Mark Cuban, you know how he responded to this shit? I'm sure he laughed and giggled. And because of his recent sexual allegation scandals and stuff with the team, you know, he had to come out and say something back to this chick, even though he probably didn't even, you know, take this shit seriously. He said, I'm okay with her approach. Sometimes you have to get loud to go forward. Basically, he's saying, chick, you can scream, you can cry out, nothing is saving your league. Your league is done. Shit, if you want whatever you got to do to help yourself, whatever you got to do to try and lift yourself up, your whack ass league, go ahead and speak on it. But nobody is watching that shit. And this is a lesson. This is a lesson for you young men out here, for real. Don't be out here trying to help these people, man. Especially these chicks. All they want to do is get a leg up. They just want to be you. They don't want to be themselves. They hate themselves. They want to be you. It's that simple. Everybody, let me just read you the rest of this shit. It's one more paragraph. She said, we're not even talking about $200 million salaries or anything like that. It's just off the revenue. It's just off the revenue that we bring in. Getting that same percentage as NBA players and not even getting half of that is kind of appalling. It's staggering. I think a lot of people try to hijack the narrative that we're trying to talk about. That's a fact. It's not anything we're making up. We've earned everything that we've gotten. We've earned the right to play in this league. It's not like just be grateful that you're just in it. No, you're correct. But however, we have to talk about this in terms of the skill that's needed, the skill that's demanded. If I can juggle a fucking orange, juggle 3 oranges up in the air for 5 minutes, who gives a fuck if nobody wants to watch that? And nobody's paying to watch that. There's no demand for it. It's that simple. Simple economics, man. This chick is over here talking all that shit, talking about the $200 million salaries. Do you know how much the NBA players produce in terms of their money? If you really have a problem with this, you should bring it up with your players association. You guys should have a stronger players association. How about that? And plus, no one's even taking these women seriously after that whole Las Vegas, I forgot, I think it's Las Vegas Aces. I was reading that story, I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, y'all got off that plane, y'all had a lot of time to go rest and play that game. You didn't even have to play hard. You probably could just gotten your ass whipped, and took it on the chin like a G, like you guys claim you are. But nah, you over here pussyfooting around. Didn't want to play, and you want to talk about how you should be paid the same as NBA players. For that whole game that they forfeited, that Las Vegas team, when they did, because there was a story, they went out to Washington D.C. There was some trouble with the planes. WNBA can't afford private planes for these players. It's just there's no money for it, and they had to fly regular, economy, and their plane was late, and they got there really tired. But they got there like a couple hours before the game, like 5-6 hours before the game started, but they were extremely tired, and they claimed that it's not healthy for them to go out there and play. There have been stories of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and other players literally arriving at games like 1 or 2 hours before tip-off and still playing, and they might have won that game too. Like, yo, just go play the fucking game. The fans paid money for it, and because you forfeited, now the team has to fucking give the fans their money back. Not just that, and then they have to give them incentives to try and come back. Like, hey, we're gonna give you guys half off for next time. Now we're not just giving you your money back, but we're gonna give you half off next time. We're gonna give you free tickets for next time. They have to do all that kind of shit, which is just lost revenue. So that shit is going nowhere. It's going nowhere fast. That shit is spiraling the drain. I don't see the WNBA lasting another 10 years, to keep it a buck. But Harrison Barnes, I really hope that you learn your lesson and you do not help these piranhas anymore, man. It just viruses, man. They just suck the life force out of you. But yeah, man, Harrison Barnes, stay away from these chicks, man. They're crazy. All right.